Alright, now I'm going to talk about the ladies. We have two representatives from the United States, Mirai, Nagasu, and Rachael Flatt. Rachael Flatt has been the most consistent. Nagasu has been dealing with a growth spurt, and I think she's pretty much done with that so far. That was an issue for her last year, and it really slowed her down. But I think she's really ready to be very competitive in this Olympic event. Rachael Flatt, she's very consistent. She's the most consistent American, but she's great with jumps. But I've always questioned the artistic aspect of her skating. I respect both athletes, but I'm not sure if we're going to be able to have a top five finish. I actually think that Nagasu has a better chance of getting a top five finish, which is sort of a big surprise for a lot of you guys, even though Rachael Flatt's been the most consistent. And Rachael Flatt, she's a hard worker. I just think that if we're going to get in the top five, it's going to be Nagasu. I actually think she has a chance to get a medal. I actually think she is going to be the bronze medalist. I'm not really sure, but I think she has the best chance of actually medaling. Kim is by far my favorite. She's from Korea. I'm definitely rooting for her. Like I said, nationality doesn't really mean much when it comes to these games anymore for me. I just root for the personality and the person with the greatest amount of skill, the person that I connect most with. And I just think Kim is very charismatic. She's very charming, very attractive, and very fun to watch. And that's something that a lot of skaters lack. So I actually think she's going to win this. I'm fairly confident about it. Then again, I was fairly confident about my prediction in the men's, but you know how well that worked out. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think the Americans have a realistic chance of medaling? I think we do have a slight chance of getting a bronze medal. What do you think? All right, the compulsory dance. We saw ice dance last night, and I know a lot of people don't like ice dance and figure skating because there's no jumps or anything like that. And I was like that for a while, but then in 2006, I saw Tanner Belbin. I was like, wow, she's just gorgeous. Anyway, she and Ben Agosto managed to win a silver medal at the Olympics, and that was the first time an American couple did that in almost really decades. So that really drew me into the sport. I really began to understand why so many people like that. I really enjoy it now. I like the fact that two skaters can skate that closely together and do so many complicated moves without really getting tripped up or anything or falling. Although there were a lot of falls in 2006, but nobody will ever forget that Italian couple that they had a mistake, and that woman, she stared him down, and it was just like, wow. I mean, if you haven't seen that, check it out. Anyway, 2010, there's three teams that I'm watching closely. Well, now it's four because the Russian team last night took the lead. I think they had about 43 points. I think they did have the best skate last night. Their interpretation was probably the most accurate. I like the fact that they seemed like the most mature, the most believable when they were trying to communicate the spirit of the song. Whereas, other skaters sort of look like they were faking it, So, I mean, there's a lot more to it. And really, the top teams were so good. Belbin and Agosto were really good, but they seemed like they were really laboring out there. And they sort of almost forgot what the song, not really a song, but the whole music was supposed to be about and what they're trying to communicate and the whole spirit of it until the very end. And you saw that look that Belbin gave, which was kind of cool. And, I sort of like what they did. I like the fact that they weren't playing as a couple from the beginning, and they seemed almost like they were angry with one another or something like that, and they sort of made up at the end. I think the commentators made that commentary. I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah, I do think the Russians were the best. It can go either way. The younger American team, Charlie White and Merrill Davis, they were really, really good. I really enjoyed their interpretation. And the Canadian team, which I absolutely love. I mean, this may be my favorite team. Tessa Virtue and Scott Moir, amazing. When they're on the ice, you feel like they really are a couple, and they you just gotta watch them. You gotta watch them. So my predictions for ice dance. Well, overall, I see Charlie White and Meryl Davis winning the gold. That's right. I said it. I said it. I think Charlie White and Meryl Davis is actually going to win the gold. That is my prediction. So I have Charlie White and Meryl Davis with the gold. I could be completely wrong because that Russian team looked really strong, but they had an injury that they were recovering over, and I don't know if they're really going to be able to continue to really skate at this level in the next two competitions. And you guys tell me what you think. Stay tuned.